Hey guys, continuing Iamblichus' Exhortation to Philosophy, chapter 17, we begin. And Iamblichus begins this chapter saying, we will look at myths, Pythagorean and others, to exhort us to the study and life of philosophy. And the first thing he talks about is comparing a happy to a miserable man. And the myth of whether we're alive really or dead. So he says, happy humans need nothing. So the happier the person, the less is their need. But the miserable have many desires, and from those many desires, troubles and problems arise, which I assume make the person miserable, as well as the process of desiring itself, feeling a lack of something. That's how I understand misery. So he says, no wonder Euripides said, he quotes Euripides saying, no wonder Euripides said, who knows if to live is to be dead, and to be dead is to live. And I thought about this and I couldn't quite figure out what he meant. And then Iamblichus says, it's possible that we are really dead and our body is a tomb. And the desiderative, desiring part of our soul is constantly swayed to and fro. And then it makes a bit more sense, this part. That okay, so now I'll give my interpretations on this. So the way I see this is, if this is so, then physical reality is kind of a hell. Because of how we're constantly plagued by desires, essentially. And we see this, the more desires are in a person, the more unhappy they are when we compare a happy to the unhappy. And we remember one of the key psychotherapy techniques for battling depression is counting your blessings, developing gratitude towards what you have. Because otherwise the mind slips into thinking what you don't have and starts to feel that starts to bring misery and unhappiness. So as I understand it, physical reality, it could be argued that we are dead. As some argue that it's a form of punishment, others argue that it's a necessary step in the creation process. And then once we die in the physical reality, the body is left and the soul is then free to rise up. If it has lived a pure and philosophical life. If it has lived an evil life, then according to Iamblichus and Plato, it will be punished and purified of the evil it has absorbed, generated. So, so it is an interesting myth, interesting concept. So that's it on this little part. The next part we'll be talking about the Sicilian or Italian fable about the jar with many holes in it that Iamblichus talks about. So let's do a mini meditation now as usual. And then proceed on to the next chapter. So in line with this energy, let us do a meditation where we focus on the one thing that we really are grateful for in this life. Whatever that one thing might be. It could be a thing, it could be a person, it could be anything. Try to find within yourself the one most important thing for you in this life. And try to develop a feeling of gratitude for it that you are happy that nature has given you that thing, or if it was given to you by another person, that you're grateful to that person. One thing, the most important thing for you, we will now search for it within ourselves and try to feel gratitude for it. I'm sorry, I have to turn off my alarm. The alarm will ring in a couple of minutes. Okay. So let's do that right now. And when you find that one thing you're grateful for, say to yourself why you're grateful for it. What does it give you, or enable you to do, or to feel, or to experience? And then you can finish with a prayer or simply a meditation. Okay, thank you all for your time, guys. A video will appear now. You can click on it to keep watching the channel.